You kind of answered my question. It was, why is the unknown not known? Okay, that's actually interesting, Maramia, because it's only not known to those who don't know. And so this is why when people are at different levels in terms of their development, flowers don't all, blossom at the same time. And this is why we have to take care how we address and deal with people, because sometimes we do let our ego get the better of us. And part of development and learning is to be able to suppress that ego, because sometimes people feel like because they have a lot of knowledge, they can speak to other people a certain way. And there is a level, it's not just knowing knowledge, it's also having that compassionate, that ashuk we talk about in terms of divine love, which means you have to be emotionally aware and also, be mindful and be able to be caring and loving in terms of how you deliver and execute the knowledge, because it can become a competition with a lot of people. We're not in competition with each other. And this is why when you're teaching people the truth, they just want to say, but I have, my Bible says this, and I know this, and I know that. It's like, at the end of the day, it's not a competition. The truth is the truth. Everyone should have access to the truth. And that's the bottom line. It's like, if you accept it, you accept it. If you don't, you don't. But yeah, to answer that question, so we would say there are people who know, there are people who don't know, and there are people who don't know they don't know. And if they don't know they don't know, how can you then kind of hold them responsible for something they don't know? So another question that we get a lot is, what if people pass before they discovered Wu-Sabat? And we're like, well, it's going to be based on what you did know, right? You can't be judged on something you didn't know. So how were you as a person? How did you treat people? This is all in your matrix. How did you deal with another fellow being? Were you kind? Were you helpful? Were you selfish? Were you unhelpful? So sometimes it goes beyond the books and the words. It's your actions and your intentions that really matter, because people can pick up on the vibration and the energy of, what you're actually giving off, even though you may be sounding really heavy. But at the end of the day, it's that ashuk. All right. So yeah, that's a great question. And people who don't know, if they admit they don't know, that's a great place to be, because they're willing to learn. And you have to be like a baby again, because you've been given misinformation and distorted information for so long that, you can stop trusting, because you're like, I went down that road and I was let down. I went down that road and I was let down. So when it's also a good experience, because when you feel something is wrong many times, when you actually get to the point where it feels right and it's right, you're going to know the difference. All right. So it's also a great experience to go through this, because most of us went through that walk of life where we were born into maybe Christianity. We had lots of questions. We couldn't get our questions answered. And we might say, okay, we're going to go and become a Muslim. We go in that direction. Again, we get to a point where we see a lot of things that don't sit well. Our questions can't be answered. And you can keep doing that, going from one to the next for years, going round in circles. And you just get to a point where you might be like, I don't want to do any of it anymore. I just go by myself, because at least I can trust myself. At least I can, know that what I feel is real. And so then when you come across Wu-Sabat, some people will wrestle it. Some people, they just know straight away, it resonates. Their vibration is already aligned and they just know it's truth. Some try to run away from it, hide from it, and it keeps coming back around until one day they like, if it's for you and it's meant to be in this cycle, you can't run away from it. It's going to keep knocking on your door. And then, some people will be like, I'm so glad I actually, tried again.